Morning. We're going to begin with the prayer to the 7 directions.
So let's all get up and stand and face the east. This is a sacred time on the planet. Mother Earth asks us to have a little appreciation for being here. So we begin facing the east. From the east, house of light, may wisdom dawn in us, so we may see all things in clarity. We turn to the north. From the north, house of night, may wisdom ripen in us, so we may know all from within. To the west, from the west, house of transformation, may wisdom be transformed into right action, so we may do what must be done. From the south, house of the eternal sun, may right action reap the harvest, so we may enjoy the fruits of planetary being. From above, house of heaven, where star people and ancestors gather, may their blessings come to us now. From below, and let's all go down and touch the beautiful earth. From below, house of earth, may the heartbeat of her crystal core bless us with harmonies to end all war. From the center, galactic source, which is everywhere at once, may everything be known as the light of mutual love. Ayum hunapku, eva maya e maho. Ayum hunapku, eva maya e maho. Ayum hunapku, eva maya e maho. Arguelles.
Thank you, and good morning, everybody. Glad to see that through all the different fickle changes of weather, administration, human coordination, lack of it, and efforts to succeed in the sun, we have finally got a few moments here in the sun. I'm back here as the chief representative of my own deja vu. And this is all very, very intense deja vu. Like the lady said, this is actually a sacred moment. Every moment is actually a sacred moment. This moment here is particularly sacred. We can tune into it here. The sun is out. We're sitting on the grass. This is UC Davis, as Swami Satchidananda said back in 1970 when he was here. Davis, this must be Deva Loka, the place of the gods. Well, it could be, but it hasn't made it yet. This is a sacred moment Okay. I'm not, someone asked me if I was nostalgic being back here, and I'm not nostalgic being back here. I'm a revolutionary. And I've always been a revolutionary. And my only purpose is to further revolution. I'm here to further the sacred revolution of time, the last revolution there is. All the other revolutions have failed, and we are now at the end of the second millennium, and it really is the time of the apocalypse. It's a Mayan apocalypse. It really is the time of Judgment Day. It really is the time to wake up and look around. Well, 28 years ago when we started this, it looked like this, and it still looks like this, and the only place it's happening is here once a year. That's really insufficient. This should be happening everywhere 365 days a year. You know, I don't want to come back here until I see that this is everywhere. Okay? This is not, you know, this is not meant to be a safe place to celebrate the earth. There's no safe place to celebrate the earth anymore. We're all the endangered species that's endangering all the other species, while we're very endangered species right now. And my message is very simple. It took me a long time to get to this message, and it was a long series of different awakenings to get to this message, but my message is very simple. We are the only species who's operating on our own privatistic timing frequency, which is called the 1260, 12-month Gregorian calendar and 60-minute hour, the most unquestioned dogmas of all of civilization. We're inundated with ads for watches and clocks. There's nothing new about any single one of them, because they just give you the same mechanical time over and over and over again, and yet we think it's really important to not be without one, not realizing that every time we look at one, that we're diminishing our telepathy, that we're diminishing our intuitive capacity for spontaneous love and regeneration of our own consciousness. And so we're here finally advocating the final revolution, the revolution of time. Hey, I'm glad you made it here, Wavy Gravy. Eternity now, says Wavy Gravy. We couldn't agree with Wavy Gravy more. Eternity now. There we go. Yeah, so as we say, now that Wavy Gravy's here, I know that this is an ultimately sacred moment. We don't get a chance to be together very often. Okay, we have very, very few precious moments, and even all the moments I have here right now with all of you who could make it here, you know, I don't know how often we're going to be together like this either, and just because I'm here and you're sitting there doesn't mean when we're not one in our hearts. Okay, this is a very, very, very sacred moment. I read that we have to get ready. I read this. I got to share these facts with you. There's 3 blockbuster movies that are coming out this summer, the way the Wall Street Journal likes to talk about them. And they're blockbuster movies because of the amount of money that's gone into them. But it's really interesting. What are these blockbuster movies? Well, the one is a very bad remake of Godzilla. Okay? That's the 250. That one is $240 million to do a bad remake of Godzilla. It doesn't take place in Tokyo. It takes place in New York. It doesn't even look like the original Godzilla. Okay? But it is about the monsters from the unconscious that are coming back to destroy us. Okay, that's movie number 1. Movie number 2, Armageddon. Armageddon closer, yeah. $220 million, just $20 million less than Godzilla. You know what I could do with $20 million? You know what you could do with $20 million? We wouldn't be here if I had that, okay? And the third movie is Deep Impact. That's the one about the comet that hits the Earth. These are all self-destruction, planetary self-destruction fantasies, Godzilla, Armageddon, deep comet impact. Those are all, put that together, I think the cheapest one was the comet one. I guess comets are cheaper than Godzilla or Armageddon to produce. But the total cost of all of these movies, these three movies, $560 million. Okay, now that's nothing for Bill Gates. Okay, that's 1/100th of Bill Gates' total worth today, and Bill Gates was worth nothing 10 years ago. So all I'm trying to say by saying these things, we're putting hundreds of millions of dollars into fantasies about our own self-destruction to keep us from realizing how much we actually are destroying ourselves. All the time the people are spending those movies, and even in movies like Titanic, all the time, all the money and all the time they spend there, well, there's just a couple more species that just went extinct. There's just a little bit more of the rainforest that just got burnt up. There's just a little bit more pollution than there was yesterday or even 2 seconds ago. And this is really boring stuff. Okay, it's just totally boring because we all know that. So I just have to say that to get that off my chest, okay? Because this is really, truly a sacred moment. And I'm only here this moment right now to say what I'm saying, and that is that there is a real revolution that's happening. That revolution looks like this. It's a 13 moon calendar. Okay, it's got 13 28-day months. It's a regular standard of measure that does not mess with your head. It's not toxic, and it doesn't cause you to go to war. In fact, we're here as messengers of the new time. We are messengers of the new peace movement, the World 13 Moon Calendar Change Peace Movement, the last peace movement and the last revolution, the revolution to end all revolutions, is the revolution of time. None of the other revolutions have worked. That's why we're all sitting here today in this safe spot, because the revolutions haven't worked, and we're waiting. Is there one that's coming, a revolution? Yes, there's a revolution. This revolution begins this summer, and we're going to say exactly when it begins. In the I Ching, it says, revolution, fire in the lake, the image of revolution. Thus the superior man sets the calendar in order and makes the seasons clear. Well, we finally figured that out. I've been quoting that ever since I was teaching art history here 30 years ago. And I've been quoting that all the time. I know what that means now, and I'm here to tell you, yes, changing the calendar is a revolution. And I know it's a revolution because I've been to the Vatican, and I've knocked on their doors, and I've seen how they respond. I've seen the fear. When you talk about these things to these people, and I've been to the United Nations, and I've been around the world, and I've gone to the people, and I've gone to the banks, and I've gone to the churches, and I've gone to the Vatican, and I've gone to the Dalai Lama, and I know that this calendar, this little thing in my hand, has more power than all the atomic bombs in the world. Because this is the way out of Satan's time. This is the way out of the time that's kept us in this very, very bad fix that we call 1260 industrial globalization, no civilization. This is not a civilization anymore. This is a marketing enterprise, but it's not a civilization. We're interested in culture and civilization, and marketing is a satanic curse. The very concept of it has obliterated any sense of values from the human mind. As we are down the tubes. The only way, and what I'm advocating is yes, you can change this calendar. We got these calendars here. We're passing some of them out. They'll take you through the end of this year. Today is the 9th day of the spectral moon. That's the 11th moon. You can find it on that calendar. And when we get to this summer on the Gregorian calendar, July 25th and July 26th, that's the revolution. That's when the revolution begins. July 25th is the day out of time. Take that day off. Tell everybody you're not going to drive a car. You're going to stop spending money. You're going to get together with your friends. You're going to really look into gardening. Okay? This whole system's going to go anyway. So you just start to get together with your friends on that day of time and forgive everybody. You forgive even the Zionist bankers. Forgive everybody on that day and say, we're starting over. It's a new time. We're going into a new covenant. We've got a biospheric covenant that was not made up by any man or any woman or any set of human beings devising some kind of two-bit government. What we got is the biospheric covenant, which is the covenant that's divinely ordained by God to manifest through nature as the entire biosphere itself. And in the biospheric covenant, there is no exchange of money. Money is a hallucination. It's the worst drug there is. There is no money in the biospheric covenant. Everything is, as you see here, the trees don't pay the earth to grow. Okay? They don't. The trees don't say, I got a real estate agent. And the birds don't go to supermarkets to hunt and peck for bargains. That's just us foolish humans, degraded in a civilization of monetary marketing materialist values. Well, this is the end. 1998 is 666 times 3. That's true mathematics. It's the mark of the beast tripled. So this is the time to break out and break free. Okay, and the time to do that, as I said, is this summer. July 25th is the day out of time, no day of the week at all. The next day, July 26th, is the first day of the 6th year of prophecy, and for 52 weeks, there is a complete synchronization of the 13-moon calendar and the Gregorian calendar. You don't have an excuse to say, that calendar confuses me. You just don't. Just get one of these new calendars. This is an IQ test from the angels. Okay? I want to see, are humans smart or not? Do you like a good standard of measure, or would you rather stick to a crooked standard of measure? The Gregorian calendar is a crooked standard of measure. The units are uneven and don't work. This is a correct standard of measure. What would you choose? It's Judgment Day, and that's a very simple decision to have to make on Judgment Day. You can forget it and then deal with it later, or you can say, okay, let's do it. Is this true? Let's have the revolution. The revolution has been prepared. There are people all over the planet already following this calendar, have been following this calendar for several years now. The mainstream media never likes to report on us. You never hear about it in this country. Okay? The mainstream media does not want you to know that there is a 13-moon calendar change peace movement that wants to change your time, that wants to change the time of the bankers and the governments, that it will bring in a new time that will put the bankers and the governments out of business. The news media doesn't want to report that. So I'm here reporting it for you this morning. This is a very, very sacred moment. You have 52 weeks to run this revolution. When you get to the middle of 1999, you're just going to never see that Gregorian calendar again. We'll have another one of these calendars for the next year for you. We're going to make it to 2012. Even if there's just 144,000 of us now on this calendar, we'll have however many are left of the human race all on it by 2012, so that when the great cycle of history closes out, we're going to be ready and synchronized to go into a full galactic fourth and fifth dimensional culture. That's the meaning. The Earth is not a time ship. The Earth is not a spaceship. It's a time ship. We're traveling through time, and come 2013, it's going to be time ship Earth. 2013 is going to be galactic culture, galactic civilization. Marketing will be a nightmare of the past, as will be atomic bombs. We've got this lovely lady here, and it's Mother's Day.
You see, the women of the planet, we have to end Mother's Day, Hallmark Card Day. Have you ever discovered how depressing it is that day? You know, Hallmark set us up bad. So this natural time calendar is our calendar, women. It's our natural biological birthright. We hold it in our body, and the reason we have been at war with ourselves is we've lived in the wrong time. So when we take back our time, our power runs deep. Our womb is the dark space of the uncreated, the unborn. So we must now give birth in the new time to the power, the natural power of woman. And do you know where woman's place is? Woman's place is in the home, at the hearth, creating harmony for all of humanity. And woman knows how to do this inherently. And our birthright was not to become members of the United States military and learn to carry guns and shoot people to kill them. So we must have a revolution, women. This is it. We have had a real foolish play in trying to get into the man's world and become corporate. I'm sorry, but women as corporate executives, that's a terror on the world. So I love all of us. Us women we have been in trouble for so long because we've been on the wrong calendar. But when we get in the right time, watch out, because our love and our compassion will say it is time to march into every armaments factory on the planet and disband it. We must now put all of our weapons in a pile and burn them. We have to get so active. We can no longer sit at home, actually. We must also activate ourselves. And homeschool. You know how many children don't go to school? 600,000 children in the United States do not go because they're afraid of encountering the guns. Do you think we're sick or what? I mean, this is the end, everyone. So here we are. The earth is calling us to get back on the natural time and to be forgiving of all of ourselves, because we didn't know, we didn't have the analysis. The calendar was wrong, we weren't living in a natural time. Harmony will be restored, and it's time to return all of us to the home, to grow our gardens, to take back our life, and to dissolve the institutions because they don't work.
That's the Mother's Day message. This is a sacred time, it is a spiritual time. Like I said, I don't want to come back here. I want to see this everywhere. There's no reason for the whole Earth Festival just to be confined to one campus of one university and one little part of the planet for one time a year. We need to have this everywhere. When we began this vision, the vision was that we were all going back to the earth. It was the Back to the Earth movement. We saw our mother from space and we said, hallelujah, we know what we are. We're the whole earth. We're the whole earth. Well, we still got a long ways to go to realize that we really are the whole earth. My consciousness is the same as the consciousness of the earth. My mind and the earth are of the same mind. And it always was and it always shall be in this way. And so we are saying that the time has come now. The revolution has been prepared. We have a 52-week revolution to change the calendar, to get into the new time. We are not waiting for anyone else to authorize this. I found out one thing about this. When it comes to time and revolution, I am the authority. And this lady next to me is the authority. And I can let you know unequivocally that this is the time for this revolution. I don't want anyone to doubt that in the least. All that evolution wants of us is that there are some human beings that woke up and decided to just go forward anyway. And this we can do. We can't hold back on the sidelines anymore, and we can't allow fear to keep us from doing what we know is true and what we believe in. I've been doing this. You can take me as an example and as a model, and she's been doing this with me. We've been living for 10 years completely out of fear, completely out of this system. It can be done. You know, you can do it, and we can all do it together. And that is the whole point. We are the whole earth. The whole earth revolution begins here and now. Thank you very much. It's a beautiful, sacred day and a beautiful spiritual moment to be with you. May God bless every single one of you. I love you all. Thank you.